How does FaaS fit into serverless backend architecture? Imagine building a backend without worrying about servers or infrastructure. That's what serverless architecture offers, and at the heart of it is function as a service. Function as a service allows developers to write small pieces of code called functions that run only when needed. These functions respond to events like an API request, a database change, or a scheduled task. When triggered, they execute quickly and then stop, saving resources. In traditional systems, you'd have to set up and manage servers to keep your backend running all the time. But with FaaS, the cloud provider takes care of all that. They handle provisioning, scaling, and maintenance automatically. You just focus on writing the code that does the actual work. This setup means your backend becomes more flexible. For example, if your app suddenly gets a lot of traffic, FaaS functions automatically scale up to handle the load. When traffic drops, they scale down, so you only pay for what you use. This makes your backend more cost-effective and easier to manage. In a serverless backend, FaaS works alongside other components like APIs and databases. When an API receives a request, it can trigger a FaaS function to process data or perform an action. If a database updates, a function can run to handle that change. This event-driven model makes the backend reactive and efficient. FaaS also replaces traditional server applications with modular functions. Instead of one big app, you break your backend into small, manageable pieces. For example, one function might handle user authentication, another might process payments, and a third might send notifications. This separation makes your system easier to update and troubleshoot. FaaS fits perfectly with backend as a service, which offers ready-made services like user authentication, storage, and databases. While backend as a service handles common tasks, FaaS allows you to run custom code for specific business needs that aren't covered by these services. Using FaaS in a serverless setup means you write your functions in languages like JavaScript or Java. These run in containers managed by the cloud provider. You set triggers for when they run, like an API call or a database event. This setup allows your backend to handle tasks like searching data, processing transactions, or managing user actions without dedicated servers. Security is maintained because sensitive operations happen inside the FaaS functions on the server side. Your client-side code can interact with APIs or directly invoke functions, keeping your data safe. Overall, FaaS is the engine behind serverless backend architecture. It makes your system scalable, cost-efficient, and easier to develop. It abstracts away server management, letting you focus on writing the logic that powers your app. It works seamlessly with APIs and databases, creating a flexible environment where your backend can grow and adapt effortlessly.